Michigan is America's high five. But it's also like the home of Motown. It's a place that has more freshwater coastline than anywhere else in the country. I mean, you look at from Cadillacs to Corvettes. I mean, where else would you want to go? I'd want to be in Michigan.
I think about those in Michigan as looking out not just for people who live in Michigan and solutions for Michigan, but looking out for solutions that will be applicable abroad.
There's something in Michigan that everyone can find a value in.
So as of 2017, global emissions from the transportation sector passed that of the built infrastructure, that factories, homes. So if we can curb transportation emissions, we can take a big dent out of what's happening right now in our world in relation to climate change. And where else to do that but Detroit? I am Trevor Paul, and I'm the Chief Mobility Officer for the state of Michigan. So the role of a Chief Mobility Officer is a first in America, bringing together government and industry in a way that can roll out new technologies as quickly as possible to make communities greener, safer, more productive, and be able to uphold a person's dignity a bit more than we did yesterday. Just by 2030, we're expected to see a $3.3 trillion mobility industry. It's important that the state have a centralized approach or a body, a brain center, to think about that every single day. And that's what the Michigan Economic Development Corporation does.
There really are no borders to environmental impact. Environmental impact doesn't stop at the Indiana border, it doesn't stop at California, it infiltrates all of us, so we need to be very conscious of that. We're beginning to see people gravitate towards Michigan as the place where you can get it done right, from manufacturing to understanding the guidelines, to understanding what a recall looks like and how to avoid them, and keeping people safe.
The state of Michigan has been extremely helpful when it comes to recognizing the future, not just resting on its laurels of today and yesterday. We do that because of the extreme research and development mindset of the people that are living in Michigan, the people that are working in Michigan, and the industry leaders that come together on a regular basis to figure out what do we need to do differently, where do we want to go, and they do it in an open mind.
Industries are now converging around 4 foundational platforms: autonomous, connected, shared, and electric. And the thing is, we've been focused on those platforms for years in automotive, and now we can leverage that competitive advantage to drive other industries forward.
This is the epicenter of manufacturing. We have an exclusive relationship to be the one and only advanced manufacturing center partnered with the World Economic Forum in the US.
Michigan has a few things going for it. We have 96 of the top 100 automotive suppliers. 1 in every 5 jobs in Michigan is tied to the mobility industry. It's a part of our economy that actually brought a lot of the people that live here now here in the first place.
There's a place for young people to explore. There's a place for mid-career to raise their families. There's a place for seniors to live and explore. The state itself is set up to, of course, welcome and help that talent grow themselves. Michigan's University Research Corridor, or URC, was founded in 2006 by the 3 university presidents at the time. The purpose being to look to one another to be able to measure what impact these 3 research-intensive institutions have on the state of Michigan. We found that collectively our 3 universities prepared close to 15,000 graduates with degrees in high demand by the mobility industry. We were producing significantly more degrees in those fields than places like Silicon Valley, Southern California, Texas, Pittsburgh, Boston, and Research Triangle Park in North Carolina. So public-private partnerships, people talk a lot about these. This is sort of the gold standard if you want to get something done. No one can do it on their own. So you want to make sure that you're getting public institutions involved as well as members of industry. We have a number of partnerships in the mobility space, and it really does do a lot of work to foster the direction of our research portfolios when we work with companies that help us understand what sorts of innovations they're looking for. We can work with them and utilize the expertise and the infrastructure of our research institutions.
The Michigan Economic Development Corporation summons all of the leaders in the state of Michigan, General Motors, Ford, LG Energy Solution, Bosch, you name it, to come together to figure out how do we increase our talent pool so that we can really move forward when it comes to the technology that we need today in order to power the vehicles that we have tomorrow.
It's the people in Michigan who have I will use the term grittiness, but I mean gritty in a really good way. There's a resilience and a desire to be problem solvers, not for recognition, not out of arrogance, but really out of a belief that we have the ability to do something better and helpful to others.
Michigan has been a testbed for the future of transportation for more than a century. We're the home of the three-color traffic signal, the first paved road. And now as vehicles are changing in ways that they haven't in 100 years, so is the environment around the vehicle.
So Detroit has been the focal point when it comes to automotive transportation for decades. It's a nucleus for workers. Workers when it comes to those who have experience in automotive technology, those who have experience in continuing to evolve the technology from internal combustion engines to battery electric vehicles, to hydrogen vehicles, to whatever the next will be.
We're living through a tumultuous time. In tumultuous times, you tend to lean on the most experienced people, teams. Michigan's also a place where you can take a really hard problem like a world war and create the entire manufacturing system and ensure that democracy continues. That's the weighty heritage that these people carry with them. And as we head into new 21st century challenges, there's another opportunity for this generation of Michiganders to step up.